So welcome to a different sort of morning meditation. The sun's rising. And I'm making the most of what I've got. So I'm bringing you a morning meditation from my cactus garden. So those of you who've meditated with me before, or perhaps have listened to me rattle on, will have heard me use the term spiky. Life is spiky, energetically growing and becoming more aware of feelings and feeling feelings and dealing with life. It's spiky, it's messy. So I like the word spiky. It kind of conveys sentiments without swearing. I'm all for swearing. But spiky somehow is very descriptive. Feelings can feel spiky. We can almost feel, in a literal sense, the discomfort. So I've been drawn to cactuses more and more over the last six months or so, probably, because I was called to come to the desert, but also because in thinking about cactuses, it's a nice way of thinking and describing sometimes life, how we feel. So if you've tuned in and you've gone, what the heck, why am I looking at a load of cactuses? That's kind of why. So we are going to meditate. And I think we'll take the inspiration for the meditation from what you can see on screen. If you're really lucky, you might get a little hummingbird within the garden. You might get other creatures. I've seen a hummingbird already this morning in there. And he or she looked over at me and kind of said good morning. So let's settle. And you're choosing how you want to sit or lay for this meditation. So you make that decision. I'm sat with my legs crossed, sat with my spine reasonably upright, and my head fairly still, except when I'm slurping tea. You find a position that works for you. You don't have to get too caught up with it. If you want to sit yourself down, snuggle and get cozy, that also works. Get yourself comfy, get yourself in a position you can kind of sit in and stay comfy for a few minutes. Let's check in that you really are comfy, because you might think you're comfy. And if you give it a little wriggle, you might decide you want to shift around. And that's life, so if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. And let's work our way through our senses. What can we feel? What's our body in contact with? Feel the safety of the seat or surface below you. Feel your body being supported, safe, connected. Feel the air on your skin. Maybe it's cool, maybe it's warm. Maybe there's a draft, maybe it's a nice draft. If there's any sensations that are unpleasant and you feel you need to close the door because there's a draft or throw a blanket on yourself, do that. Don't sit in discomfort in meditation. If there's an easy way to bring yourself to a more comfortable state. Sometimes in meditation, we've got the best of intentions to settle and soothe and calm and nurture. But our brain's got other plans and hijacks us. And I think when you're early on in a meditation habit, I think stepping away from that meditation at that moment and going, this isn't the right moment, is actually the right thing to do. Come back to it. Take a bath, go for a run, do something that brings your nervous system into a more comfortable state. Keep coming back. Keep building that meditation habit. Keep finding glimmers of joy, moments of being really connected to this moment. So hopefully you're now very aware that you're supported, that the air on you is comfortable. Maybe it's warm, maybe it's cool. It depends where you are in the world. That's what we can feel on our skin. Check in with your sense of taste. Chances are you can't taste an awful lot, but if you're by the sea, you may be able to taste the sea as you breathe in, particularly if you breathe in through your mouth. But I think most of us probably won't be able to taste anything. What can we hear? What can you hear in your space? Can you hear morning bird song? Can you hear the noise of traffic? I can hear a dog barking. Maybe he wants his breakfast. I can hear birds tweeting, the hum of traffic and a plane. But predominantly the animals waking up, stretching, yawning. What can I smell? What can you smell? I can't smell anything at all. You might be able to smell your neighbours cooking bacon. Oh, bacon, there's an idea. You may be able to smell the coffee that you're drinking. You may not be able to smell anything. Check in. Notice. And now to the final sense that we'll settle with. What can we see? Sight. Have a look around your room. What can you see in your room? What's familiar? Is there anything there that you knew it was there but you hadn't noticed it for a while? How do the colours look? Are they vivid? Any item that's drawing you. Don't get caught up with, oh, that's a bit dusty, or, oh, there's a spider's web. I do all the time. So when that happens, just ease away from it. And if any thought pops up as we settle into our meditation, honour it, note it, ease away from it, as if it was a stick on a stream passing in front of you. You see it, it's there, it's real, it's true, it's there for a reason. But just ease away from it. So now let's look at what we can see. Let's look at these different cactuses. Let's look at these different shapes. And let's use this as our meditation, arguably more of a mindfulness. And let's look and think about what we can see. And through this, just take comfortable, nourishing, soothing breaths in and out through your nose, unless you're blocked and stuffy, or breathing through your mouth is just more comfortable. So at the front of the garden, nearest to us, you've got 5 tall, fluffy cactuses. At some point I will know the name. Well, let's call them the fluffy cactuses. You look as near to the bottom as you can see. And just slowly pick one of them, maybe. Slowly move your gaze up the fluffy cactus. I wonder how that fluffiness feels. I'm sure it's not soft. I may be brave and find out at some point. And just really notice the colours, the textures, imagine all of that. Maybe you want to trace up one side of the cactus to the top and down the other side of the cactus to the bottom and create a little U. And maybe move from one cactus to the other until you feel like you've really got to know them. Just take your time. Take your time, breathe in a way that's comfortable for you, that nourishes you. And only when you're ready, we're going to move right to the back of the cactus garden. I believe the prickly pear. So it looks like a pile of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse ears, spikes on. The bushiest, the biggest, the cactuses in the garden. So prickly pears, pretty sure are edible. And they're prickly, funnily enough. Now have a look at the prickly pear and maybe you want to trace around the Mickey Mouse ears and gently breathe and relax, knowing that you're safe. And if you notice a noise in your space, that's okay. thought pops up, that's okay. Don't get caught up in the noise, don't get caught up in the thought. Notice it and ease away. I'm going to trace round the Mickey Mouse ears too. Curious to know how that one feels. Is it cool? Is it warm? What's the texture? And when you're happy that you've explored that and what that looks like, let's move on to the cactuses in the very centre. There's probably kind of 3 clumps that look like big marrows with spikes. Really big courgettes. Green flesh, beautiful green, dappled with white. And a bit like life, lots of spikes and you can't always see them all. So you explore what you can see, those cactuses. Maybe trace the splodges up the cactus, maybe draw lines around them in your head. And the reason for me to be somewhere with a cactus garden, I think very much is about the dance I'm dancing, the joy of bringing Reiki into my life, meditation into my life, sharing these things with other people, getting you curious. It's not about setting up a commercial space. It's about curiosity. And if that means that you invite more of this into your space and your lives, and you find some really ethical practitioners, that's great. So feel free to let your eyes roam around all of the cactuses in the cactus garden. All the beauty that's there that may not be considered conventionally beautiful. But what is conventionally beautiful? For a cactus and a person. Cactuses endure adverse conditions, drought, heat, wind. And I think that's why they resonate with me on another level, is the adversity and the spikiness. Because life isn't picture perfect, it isn't a Hallmark film or mini-series. Most people's lives get messy, get spiky. Shit happens. And bringing meditation, Reiki, yoga, all of this energy work into your life isn't about making your life perfect. It's about helping us deal with the spikes. It's about helping us turn the volume up on what's in our life that we want to pay more attention to. It's about turning the volume down on the other stuff. So just let your eyes roam around the cactus garden. And to draw this to a close, Really want to connect a bit more to the breath. So settle in whatever way you need and focus on whatever you can see on the video or in your space, or indeed close your eyes down. I'm going to pop my hands in prayer position and bring them to my heart. And I'm going to close my eyes and put all my focus on my middle finger pads. The simple affirmation that came to me as I came to the Joshua tree was, what do I desire? So let's close this session with 4 breaths in and out through the nose. As slowly as you wish. And feel free to choose another affirmation or mantra with the focus at the middle finger tips. What do I desire? Let's go. What do I desire? Let's take a breath in and sigh it out. And 1 or 2 more depending on how you feel. Move in whatever way feels right to you. Stretch, wriggle, yawn. And step back into your day. And I hope that was interesting or fun. I hope you found it useful.